You'll ever wondered how Kamala Harris was conceived? Well, this some black and Indian love story. This movie got the fine-ass Denzel Washington, too. The president of Uganda, Idi Amin, has ordered the expulsion of Asians from Uganda so that the indigenous people of Uganda can take control of the economy. During the 70s in Kampala, Uganda, an African man named Okilo reprimands his best friend, Ugandan-born Indian lawyer Jay Loha, for saying that the president is evil in a BBC interview as it endangers him and his family. The president of Uganda has been known to pull an army hammer on his enemies. When Jay refuses to leave, saying Uganda is his home, Okilo tells Jay that Uganda is no longer his home because Africa is for black Africans. Oh, that's not in the sense that when Okilo drives him home, an upset Jay tells him they'll leave that day. Jay gets his wife Kinu and daughter Mina to pack and leave. The Lohas say goodbye to their friends. Before the family boards the airport shuttle, Okilo arrives to say goodbye. While Kinu tearfully leaves him with their car and the sad Mina says goodbye, Jay stays silent and ignores the fake-ass friend. On the bus, Kinu is forced to deboard at gunpoint. The soldiers harass her about her luggage and mocks the Indian music that she plays. They allow her to go, but she's traumatized. After years of living in England, the Lohas move into the Monte Cristo Motel and restaurant in Greenwood, Mississippi, which is owned by their relative, Anil. Mina, who's in her early 20s, works as a maid in the motel. Kinu works at a 7-Eleven, and Jay is busy suing the Ugandan government for his property. On Anil's wedding day, Mina buys gallons of milk at a grocery store with an older relative using Anil's car. On their drive home, Mina accidentally rear-ends the work van of a foreign-ass man named Demetrius Williams, who co-owns D&T Budget Carpet Cleaning Services with his brother Tyrone. Demetrius and Mina then exchange cards for the insurance. That's one way to get a man's number. Meanwhile, at home, Jay once again writes to the Ugandan government regarding his property, despite Kinu telling him that it's hopeless because the new regime hasn't replied to him for 5 years. Forced displacement of people from their home is giving Israel. Anil throws a fit about his car's damage cost. His friend Pontiac tells him that he should be more worried about how people in the country love to sue, warning him that Demetrius may fake an injury and sue his ass. His other friend Conti Napkin says he knows Demetrius and can convince him to avoid legal trouble. What in the fuck kind of names are Napkin and Pontiac? Later that night, Demetrius' dad, Willibin, happily informs Demetrius that his ex-girlfriend Alicia is back in town and had called him, so he invited her to his birthday dinner on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Lohas attend Anil's wedding. There's gossipy aunts saying dating a darker complexion Indian, who is also poor, is a travesty. Okay, bet y'all single AF. Being an Indian mom, Kinu wants Harry Patel to breed Mina because he is a top eligible bachelor. After the ceremony, Harry Patel brings Mina out dancing. There, Mina reunites with Demetrius and leaves the poor tikka masala hanging by himself. While talking to Mina, Demetrius sees Alicia arrive in the arms of record producer Sylvester Artiste III. Girl, I'd rather be with a broke-ass Demetrius than that 50-year-old looking man. When he greets her, Alicia low-key brags about her flourishing career and later makes him jealous by slow dancing with Sylvester. Demetrius then asks Mina to slow dance with him next to Alicia and Sylvester. Harry leaves because he lacks swag, so Demetrius later drives Mina home after introducing her to Tyrone. Tyrone tries to hit her up calling her a Latina, but Mina corrects him, saying she likes chapati, not tortillas. At the motel, Jay drinks with Napkin and Pontiac. When Pontiac says that Jay was a champion defender of blacks but was thrown out by the same blacks he was defending, Jay tells him that cruelty has no color. When Kinu inquires about her night out with Harry, Mina tells her that she's not interested in tikka masala and asks why Jay never writes to Okilo nor talks about him. Kinu brings the conversation back to Harry, not answering her question. As Demetrius and Tyrone clean Napkin's carpet, Napkin talks to them and successfully persuades Demetrius against suing Anil, who's relieved. They all agree that all people of color should stick together. When Mina calls Demetrius to thank him for driving her home, he invites her to Willibin's birthday dinner on Sunday. Shortly after, Jay reiterates to Mina the importance of her education. When he shares that he feels like he has failed as a father because she is too smart to be cleaning bathrooms, Mina tells him that there's nothing wrong with cleaning bathrooms and assures him that she'll think about going to college when he wins his case and gets his money. En route to Demetrius' house, Mina shares with Demetrius that she has never been to India. She explains that she was born in Africa, then moved to England, then moved to Mississippi, where she has been living for 3 years. Mina meets Demetrius' family. While they eat, Mina explains how Indians were brought to South Africa by the British to build the railway. When Alicia arrives at the end of the celebration, Mina introduces herself and Demetrius acts cold towards Alicia. "Oh, girl, he chose you." Demetrius and Mina leave and drive to a bayou where they share herpes. Demetrius goes to the motel and inquires about a room while secretly asking Mina to spend a romantic trip with him in Biloxi. She initially declines but later says she's going to try. The Ugandan government finally responds to Jay's sixth letter regarding his claim to Ugandan citizenship and compensation for his past assets. While Jay reads the letter, Mina asks permission for an overnight stay at the beach with a female friend, and Jay allows her to go, not knowing she's actually trying to get her back broken by the Foyn Denzel. In the letter, Jay is informed that the court of Uganda will hear his petition on September 23, 1990, and his presence in Kampala is required. The two go on a romantic walk, talking about how they both experience racism. While at an amusement park, Pontiac sees Mina with Demetrius, but Anil and Napkin don't believe him, thinking he's just drunk. That night, Demetrius and Mina make watermelon curry in the bedroom. Before they sleep, Mina asks Demetrius to wish her a happy birthday, and he sings to her. In her dreams, Mina recalls that during her last birthday celebration in Uganda, they saw Amin's broadcast, where he was giving Asians 90 days to pack up and go. Mina cried as the adults argued about what to do. When Jay found her, Mina told him they didn't even greet her a happy birthday, prompting Jay to carry her and sing to her. When young Mina sees a corpse in their backyard, adult Mina wakes up and Demetrius comforts her. The next day, Pontiac spots Demetrius's van and shows Anil and Napkin, but they still won't believe him. Attempting to defend his family's honor, Anil heads to Demetrius's room, where he catches a topless Demetrius with Mina, who's not done putting clothes on. Anil attacks Demetrius, who fights back, lifting up the 90-pound Apu like nothing, while Pontiac calls the police for help. The police find Demetrius fighting Napkin and Mina trying to intervene. Anil says Demetrius is trying to kill them, and the cops arrest both Demetrius and Mina. Jay and Tyrone arrive for Mina and Demetrius' release. Tyrone later reprimands Demetrius for bringing Mina to Biloxi and sleeping with her. At home, Mina tearfully tells her parents that she's 24 years old, but she feels stuck and unhappy. When she tells them that it's not a crime to love Demetrius, Kinu tells her that she has brought shame to their family. Mina then apologizes for the mess, but not for loving Demetrius. The gossip about Mina and Demetrius spreads, and each gets dislike and disapproval from the other's community. Demetrius' calls to Mina are blocked, and he loses all his Indian clients. When the bank threatens to repossess their van if they fail to repay their dues by the first of the following month, Tyrone tells Demetrius that he's going to give up the money and move back to LA because the trouble is not worth it, which upsets Demetrius more. Demetrius goes to the motel to speak to Mina, but Jay makes him leave. Demetrius tells him that he and Mina care for each other very much and that they're ruining his reputation and business. When Jay tells him that Mina is allowed to love whoever she wants, but he doesn't want her to experience the racism he experienced, Demetrius points out that he and his people are acting racist towards him and his people, saying these Indian folk acting a bit too white. On his last night in Uganda, Jay was apprehended for calling Amin evil on a BBC interview. He was then released after Okolo gave the police a bag full of money. Jay tells Mina that they left Uganda because Okolo said that Africa is for Black Africans. He was dismayed that after 34 years, it all came down to the color of his skin. He explains that he's just trying to spare her the pain because people stick to their own kind. Mina reminds him that Okelo had risked his life to save his, which is proof of his love for him. Yet he wouldn't even look at the heartbroken Okelo when they left. Demetrius calls attorney Turnbull and sues Anil for an injury from the Biloxi fight. When Turnbull advises Anil to settle out of court to save time, Jay defends Anil, saying it's a fraudulent claim. After Turnbull leaves, Jay promises Anil that he'll take care of it, but Anil asks the Lohas to leave as they've caused too much trouble. Jay informs Mina that Demetrius sued Anil for $50,000 and that they're returning to Uganda. He then informs Kinu that their move is to keep Mina away from Demetrius, and Jay's court hearing is on the following week. He promises to fight and win their property back, refusing to die in a stranger's country. Anil's dad, Jamubai, reprimands Anil for his behavior and brings him with him as he apologizes to the Lohas, who are packing. Jay tells him that he was thinking of returning to Uganda anyway. Mina sneaks out and drives away in Anil's car. She apologizes to Willibin, who reluctantly reveals that Demetrius is trying to build a new clientele in Indianola. Mina finds Demetrius, who ignores her. She tails him until he faces her and expresses his anger about her ruining his life, saying she did not inform him about her family's grudge towards blacks. After she informs him that she's returning to Africa and confronts him about using her to make Alicia jealous, he admits using her at first, but he fell in love with her. She almost breaks her neck when she hears this. When Mina asks what his plan is, Demetrius shares that with Tyrone now in LA, he's thinking of going somewhere. Wanting to leave Mississippi, Mina offers to go with him and be his business partner, to which Demetrius eventually agrees. Demetrius calls Willibin to inform him that he's with Mina and he plans on moving on. Wanting Demetrius to be happy, Willibin supports his decision. Mina calls the motel and informs Anil where he can get his car. When Mina says she's with Demetrius, Anil asks her to ask Demetrius to withdraw the lawsuit and to apologize on his behalf. Mina informs Jay and Kinu that she doesn't wish to return to Uganda and that she's with Demetrius, which upsets Jay. When she explains that she will leave Mississippi and work with Demetrius as she thinks she'll never leave if she doesn't, Kinu tearfully lets her go. Kinu promises to talk to Jay about it and asks her to call so they'll know where she is. Demetrius and Mina leave Mississippi in Demetrius's van. After Kinu urges him to go, Jay flies alone to Kampala, where he learns that Okello had disappeared and died in 1972, which explains why he never responded to his numerous letters. Jay then visits their old house where he reflects and accepts that Uganda is no longer the home he knew. Jay writes to Kinu, informing her about Okello and sharing that he regrets never saying goodbye to him. He adds that he no longer cares about the lawsuit because his home is wherever she is. Jay wanders in the streets and watches the street performers. Well, this was actually quite a cute movie in a historical backdrop. What did you guys think of this one? Did you think Mina rushed too fast to be with Demetrius? Or do you think she made the right choice because he fine? Mina is also quite fine herself. Beautiful woman.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.